Hey, I'm Emily. I've been here a year now, living in Brooklyn. I studied in Christchurch for 5 years doing fine arts, and then I was in Wellington and kind of packed up everything and moved here. Yeah. I always wanted to kind of finish university and then basically live overseas for a chunk of time. I guess that's the kind of standard Kiwi thing to do. I guess New York is just one of those places that you hear about everywhere. There's so many songs, there's so many books, there's so many movies, so we kind of have this secondhand experience of it anyway.
You realise how many people live in such a condensed sort of small area. Do you come up here often?
I only just discovered that I could kind of get up here like a week ago. And it was at night the first time I came up here, and I realised just how easy it is to see into everyone's rooms. Whereas like it's not really a thing, I think, back home, because I'm not used to living in an apartment. Like, you're like, oh, no one can really see me, you know, or like I can't see them. It's kind of fascinating because it can change from block to block. You know, you almost have to like watch out. There's like, yeah, there's dodgy areas, there's not. Like, there's often police on like quite a lot of the corners, or just like sitting in their police cars. This is my tiny room. It took a while, but I've managed to, I think it's worth it. Managed to find a cheap room so I can kind of manage.
Yeah, how much is this room? How much?
$600 a month, so it's kind of unheard of.
So you've lived in Wellington, Christchurch and Auckland. How does this room size compare to those cities that you've lived in?
Obviously like a lot smaller. I took a while to like decide and take the plunge, because I was trying to push it. Like, things were going quite well back home. I had a bit of momentum up, so I was unsure like when I should try and leave. So I basically left at the latest possible kind of time, because I just wanted to have that year of kind of making art outside of art school.
So these are kind of like the main staples of New York. On every single corner there is like a deli.
Every corner, yeah, in Brooklyn, yeah.
Have you gotten to any sort of like trippy drinks or anything yet? I mean, look at this.
Not really. It is amazing what you can get. I kind of just go for my staple, like coconut water.
It smells a bit like cat piss.
It does, it does. I think they have a few cats in here, but.
How do you find having to be keep up like a waitress job and sort of do your art as well?
I've really struggled, but I know that's what so many people do and have to do like their whole lives. And I didn't really have that much experience in hospitality, so I kind of was learning something from scratch as well. So that took a lot of mental energy, I think. There's certain things about living here that it's almost just endurance. Like, especially like with the weather, just like how cold it gets in winter. It's a strange feeling. Like, it's good that it's tough, and people get kind of proud, and you do get addicted to kind of wanting to make it work.
You see somewhere like New York as kind of like a temporary place?
I guess I didn't. When I first came, I was like, you know, who knows what can happen? Like, anything can happen here. I think is kind of a cool thing about being here, is you meet so many people that you might just come across something and an opportunity might open up, but also it might not, and you have to keep going.
How do you feel about being a New Zealander here? Do you think it helps you?
Yeah, I think it does. Like, I mean, I got really lucky in terms of getting a job, and it was literally because I was from New Zealand.
Is it pretty easy to get laid?
What's your experience on that?
Well, I mean, have you ever hit the Tinder or the online dating here? I mean, that's a pretty big thing here, you know?
It is a big thing. I kind of resisted it for a long time, and like, then I was like, you know what? This is an experiment. So yeah, I've kind of given it a go, but it's.
Well, you're talking Tindy?
I'm talking Tindy, yeah.
Because I flicked on the old Tindy in Auckland after having it in New York. As you go from 0 mutual friends, 1 mutual friend, to like 75, and you're like, oh, I went to high school with you, yeah. You know?
I don't know, when you move somewhere like this, you have all these ideas in your head that, you know, something amazing might happen. And then you kind of realize that maybe it hasn't, but maybe that's okay. Like, I've learned so much just about I don't know, about myself, and which sounds very cheesy, but I mean, you're paying so much money, you're away from family and friends and all of that, so it's kind of like, oh, like, I guess I ask myself like quite often, like, why am I here? Is it worth, like, yeah, is it worth the money and all of that? I still haven't worked it out.